you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome to From Content to Clients, where you are going to be learning better ways to attract your ideal leads, fill your pipeline with your ideal clients, and leverage the power of content marketing so you can grow your business. My name is Kristen Noel, and I'm here with my business partner, Ivana Evans. And first I wanted to just ask and get to know you guys a bit. So not too many of us in the room, so I want this to be conversational. I really want to understand like what type of businesses you have and why you're here. So is anybody here because they're not currently attracting enough clients through their online presence?
Yeah, kind of. You say that.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And is anybody also here because they kind of struggle with content marketing or with creating the process of creating content? Is that a struggle for you in your business?
So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. I also want to understand what type of businesses you have, and I'm going to be asking a quick question first before I introduce myself too much. Real quick, I want to know if you guys can tell me what is your special sauce as it relates to your business. So this is like your mini elevator pitch. It doesn't need to be long, but I just want to know like what you do, who you do it for, and what makes you stand out. Anybody want to answer first?
I'll go first.
Okay, what's your name?
So my name is Roshan Dennis.
Roshan.
Hello. My business, I do construction permitting.
Okay.
So if you're renovating your home, if you're building a deck, fence, if you are opening a commercial business, in this city and many other counties and jurisdictions, it can be kind of tedious. I often tell people, this is part of my pitch. I'm like, hey, the last time you renewed your license, how was that experience? Most people are like, it sucked. I'm like, well, what I do is similar in that if you could pay someone to renew your license, maybe you would. So what I do, I'm kind of like the middleman between developers, architects, engineers, homeowners, business owners.
Gotcha.
Most people, I also tell them, what I do is not brain surgery, which means anyone can do it. But if you know how to do it, then you're obviously more efficient, and the process flows a little smoother. So that's,
Gotcha.
I guess, everything that you asked for all in one. That's my pitch. That's what I do.
So there's a lot of like education involved. It sounds around what you offer. It sounds like
Yes and no. It varies because some people don't want you to educate them. They're paying you for the service. So
Gotcha,
they're not, it's like getting your car fixed. You're like, you can tell me about the alternator, but I don't care.
Right.
How much?
They
So yes and
do it.
yeah, but some clients, obviously they're more invested, so it just depends.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody else want to share what's your special sauce?
Yeah, so hi, my name is Usman. I own an accounting firm. Pretty much, I've been an accountant for 15 years. The main problem I noticed is that when business owners have disorganized finances, they start to lose confidence over time. So what I do is I help bring back the confidence in their life by showing them how every revenue dollar contributes to their personal lifestyle.
Oh, we love it. That's great. That's great. I love that line right there. That's important. That's powerful. Yes. What's your name?
Janelle Henry. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
So you'll be able to see my special sauce and see my dilemma. But so I am a former, well, you're always a journalist, but I was a journalist for a long time, and so I'm doing full-time entrepreneurship on my own. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so currently trying to figure out how to have that one thing that brings it all together. But I have a travel business, I have a consulting business, I'm an adjunct professor, and I would say my special sauce is I always want to be in the room for collaboration. So I'm your go-to person to be in the room. I'll get you collaborating quick, get you good ideas quick, and I also know how to bring all kinds of people into the same space. So from my birthday party to my travel trips to a meeting like this, like I know who needs to be in the room, and I get them all there, and we all kind of know each other from different spaces in my life. So I feel like I'm that go-to person. Everyone's always calling on me. It's like, hey girl, I'm trying to put this together. Who do you know that can fill this room? And I'm like, I got you, and I'll send you a list of 20 people. Or they're like, Janelle, I need you in the room because I'm trying to make something happen, and you always have great ideas. So building on that, and then using my media experience to help you, be dynamic in media. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to have my special sauce kind of be the umbrella for all the things that I'm doing, because I'm managing multiple businesses.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's my dilemma.
Yes. You got a lot going on. And
Yes.
we can both relate because yes, there's always so many ideas, so many different ventures that we want to have our hands in. So how do you channel that and focus that? So hopefully you can learn something from this process. Thank you all for sharing, and I hope to get to know the rest of you I didn't hear from throughout this presentation. I'll get into a quick introduction. So as I said, my name is Kristen Noel, and I am actually a digital marketing strategist. I've owned a micro marketing agency and freelanced, and also I've worked in marketing in my 9-to-5 for the last 10 plus years. I've done a lot online, from building e-commerce businesses to doing social media marketing to doing website development, SEO, you name it. So then I started strategizing and helping service-based business owners with their messaging, their copywriting, and their content strategy to help them connect with and resonate with their ideal clients. So the goal here is, how can we use our online presence to actually attract people to us who we actually want to work with, so we can close bigger opportunities, make more money, make a bigger impact, and stand out more so we can live the lifestyle that we desire. I'm all about freedom and flexibility, and your online presence allows you to do that. It allows you to generate the kind of income you want, connect with tons of people in your target audience, and really live the life that you want. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of focus. As we all know, the online world is noisy. There's a lot going on. There's so many pages and channels and podcasts popping up all the time. So we have to be better and better and better. How can we do that? Through the power of our expertise and just standing out more online. So that's what I'm all about. I've lived in 4 cities: DC, LA, Tampa. I'm in Maryland now. I've also lived overseas, Thailand and Malaysia. I did the whole digital nomad lifestyle for a couple of years. So just a couple fun facts. Gotten clients around the world and also clients here at home. So I really love to work with all types of businesses everywhere. But right now my focus through KN Digital Marketing is really working with consultants, speakers, really subject matter experts who are looking to increase their personal brand and make more money online. So just a little bit about me.
Hello everybody, I am Ivana Evans, and it is really nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. I am Kristen's business partner in our other venture, BrandGlo Studio. And I come from a construction background, so I'm more of project management, systems. I do have a passion for photography and videography, so that's how we came together in this marketing venture. And I'm all about creating these systems to make it easier. So content can be a headache, just from coming up with the ideas to actually implementing it and posting it on whatever platform that you're going to be doing that. And I just help facilitate business owners with creating seamless systems.
So a little bit about what we'll discuss on the table of contents here. We're going to talk about the most common challenges that business owners like yourself typically face when it comes to standing out online and creating content. We're going to talk about the transformation that needs to happen so you can take your client attraction process to the next level, some need to knows, some tools, tips, and tricks. We like to work with AI a lot, ChatGPT and Claude, so we're going to use some of our favorite prompts to help you really power up your content. We have a couple of inner activities and some examples to share with you, because I love making things real and sharing, real life examples. We will get right into it. So first, we always start with the pain points, right? You always hear what is your target audience's pain point? For us, we find that a lot of small business owners struggle when it comes to converting clients online For a few main reasons, but I kind of want to know, like, from maybe a couple of you all, what do you think you're missing when it comes to being able to attract strangers and convert them into clients? Like, what do you think is missing for you, or what is your biggest struggle with that?
I'm just tired of posting content. Affiliate.
Yeah,
Yeah, plus I found other marketing channels that are easier than online. So,
gotcha, okay. And what channels work better for you?
in person.
In person, yes.
Right.
The only problem with that is you only have one body, you can only be so many places
Right.
at any given time, right?
Right.
So content can be scalable, but you're right, it can be exhausting. Anybody else have any struggles?
I think also because so many of my clients are referrals, I just don't see the value sometimes.
Right.
And then my online presence is a struggle between, am I an influencer or am I just kind of like business owner,
Yeah.
you know, sign up for this service type
Right.
thing. So just kind of not knowing what my voice should be.
Right,
So-
gotcha, okay.
Yeah, same for me. Most of my clients are referrals. I don't post content, so I don't even factor. I'm not even sure how to gauge the value,
Right.
because if someone calls me from my website, most times I convert them, but I don't even know if what's good, right? Like 2 people called me this month versus 10, because I just feel like it's random, so it's harder for me to even gauge.
Yeah.
And I'm not personally into analytics, so I barely even pay attention to like how many people actually click, how do I convert, so yeah, I mean, I'm probably missing out on a lot of opportunities.
Definitely with some money on the table.
Sounds like math and I'm just,
Yeah, I'm always
that sounds
like-
like math, I'm like, oh, can I outsource this?
Me too. But yes, everything that you guys mentioned are super common. And I'll touch on what you all just said, as well as some of these top reasons. So lack of clarity is one of the biggest reasons that small business owners struggle to convert clients through their online presence. So really being clear on what sets you apart from your competitors and making sure that your content and your online presence speaks specifically to your ideal clients. Not generalized, not my audience is anybody who needs me. No, you have a very specific ideal client who's best fit to work with you. And these could be multiple ideal client profiles, but at any given time, you need to be speaking specifically to somebody and their specific challenges, goals, fears, frustrations. Who is that person and what is like really inside of their mind and their heart and everything. That is what your content has to do these days to stand out. It can't really just be generalized tips. The second biggest problem is it's overwhelming and time consuming. Yes. I mean, personally, I am a content marketer and honestly, this is like the first time, this year is the first time I can say that I have consistently created content and I'm a content marketer. I know how tiring it is. I spend all my time working with my clients, working for my clients, creating content for them. And I put my own stuff on the back burner because I'm just like, it's too much. And this is me, I am a content marketer, so I understand. One of the ways to fix that is having a streamlined content creation process and systems in place. That could look like making sure that you just have a process that is written down, right? That could also look like outsourcing pieces of it. I use virtual assistants based in the Philippines that are about $6 an hour to help with certain parts of the process. They help me with like repurposing content, for example, coming up with content ideas, for example, helping me organize my content. So I definitely recommend like finding help where you need it most, and also you can do it in a way that is affordable for your business. Also, it's hard to stand out, like I already mentioned earlier online. How do you stand out these days? Be very specific, be consistent, talk to somebody specifically, and really show the value of your expertise. If you have true expertise and you're really helping people, that means you deserve to be heard. Like, your story deserves to be heard. Like, you're actually making a difference. You just have to show that and share that and help people and provide value. Or have an entertaining or interesting personality, you know, hopefully both. But at least have one. At least be interesting or be informative. But you want to be both. And then some people have the audience, or they have somewhat of an audience, but it's hard to actually convert their readers into paying clients. Like, if you have an audience, or if you have a few thousand social media subscribers, followers, what do you actually do to convert them and to get them on the phone? So those are some of the things that people typically get caught up at. And then with the whole point of most of your clients being referrals, that's how most small business owners start. We start with our network, our warm network, and we get, clients through that network. But the only thing with that is it's not always predictable. You can't always, depend on referrals, especially when you're looking to take your business to the next level. Oftentimes, if you want to get to that next 6-figure bracket, if you want to expand your team and hire a few people, and if you want to, just expand that empire, it does take systems, it does take marketing these days. So yeah, let's get into the solutions to these challenges. And we're going to be talking about how to transform your client attraction content strategy. Here's a hint, it's not just about content. You have to think about your overall sales funnel and your overall customer journey, right? So the 5 crucial elements in our framework are: 1, having clarity; 2, creating content that builds connections; 3 is the circulation or the distribution of your content; 4, having more conversations; and 5, the closed deal. How do you get to the closed deal in your business, or closing your clients, converting your clients? So those are the 5 crucial elements that we'll talk about, and a little bit more on each 5. So clarity is about getting crystal clear on your unique value proposition and your target market, so your messaging can be laser focused. So for your example, did you say your name was Janelle?
Janelle, yes.
Janelle. So for your example, it sounds like you have a lot of different ideas, a lot of different businesses, you're a serial entrepreneur. At any given time, I would say to focus on one at a time for, let's just say, 90 days straight. One offer, one business, one audience, one traffic strategy. Be laser focused on one thing at a time and really watch that take off. And once that takes off, you can leverage that success and focus on, the next thing you want to focus on, and you have this thing kind of running in the background. But especially when it comes to online, try to be as laser focused as possible. Try to, speak to one person about one thing, and really have that focus for yourself too, because that makes you feel a little bit less scattered. And your audience can know oh, these are the actions I should take. She's talking to me specifically, and that's how you really magnetize people. So connection building content, it's about creating things that are compelling and not always surface level. So how can you resonate deeply with your ideal clients and establish trust? Sometimes that means revealing things about yourself and telling stories. And I'm not talking about your deepest, darkest secrets, but your stories, how you got to where you are, how you helped certain clients do certain things and make transformations, and also touching on what are their goals, what are their fears. I know for my clients, some of their goals are to be able to land $100,000 and up contracts with corporate clients. What does that allow them to do? That allows them to make a bigger impact for their family, have more flexibility, have less hassle in the workplace because they're dealing with bosses and managers that don't value their voice. They want to be heard. They want to be able to make the impact that they know that they can make and make the money that they know that they can make, because they're tired of playing small. So me knowing that about my ideal client allows me to tie and weave that into my messaging, because the most powerful content speaks to somebody's emotions. So being able to kind of speak to their emotions and their goals, like what is their specific goal? If they are an HR manager, for example, maybe they care about reducing the amount of time that it takes to retain and hire top talent, or recruit top talent. So if I'm creating content for an HR manager, I'm talking about diversify your leadership or reduce the amount of time that it takes to fill your talent pipeline, for example. So you just wanna make sure that you are understanding who your ideal client is and what they're looking for in life, like, and then create content that speaks to that. Circulation is about making sure your content gets seen by the right people in the right places. So again, that's like, where are you distributing your content? Not just your own social channels and your own website, but how can you get in front of your audience in other places? So we'll talk about that more too. Conversations, I noticed that a lot of small business owners, and this is even myself in the past, we're not having enough conversations. So this relates to your content because people are gonna engage with your content, people are gonna leave comments, people are gonna subscribe and follow, but that doesn't always mean they're gonna sign up and book a consultation call. Sometimes we have to directly engage with that person who's engaged with us, follow up and get on the phone. So just having more calls, letting your content kind of lead the way sometimes, but also just doing more outbound outreach to reach out to potential clients and using your content as a way to establish your authority. So for example, if I'm gonna be sending cold emails out, people might not know who I am, but they will go to my social media and they'll see great content, so then they're gonna respond. And then the closed deal is about how you seamlessly guide your prospects through your customer journey. And your content plays a big role in your customer journey, especially when it comes to scaling, expanding, closing more people, and growing your followers, growing your audience. Content all plays a role with getting more closed deals. So we will go through most of these and give you some tips and tricks and action items so that you can improve each element. So with clarity is the foundation of effective content marketing. What do you offer that no one else does? What are the specific benefits and outcomes your clients can expect from working with you? Get specific about your target market and create detailed buyer personas that go beyond your surface level demographics. So you wanna make sure you're digging into their pain points, goals, and challenges, and how they think. So we're gonna do a quick activity to help you get more clear on how you stand out. And this is going to set the foundation for your content. So if you all have access to your phone or your internet computer right now, I would love for you to open up your favorite AI tool. Does anybody here not use any AI yet? Okay, it's your first time?
Not my first time, but I don't use it.
Gotcha, okay.
Would it be better on the computer or the phone?
Either one, I would say computer, yes, if you have your computer. So I really like Claude.ai, but ChatGPT works as well. Also, Google Gemini is a tool too.
What's your Claude AI?
Oh, Claude.ai.
Yeah, what's,
It's like ChatGPT,
oh, okay.
but I just prefer it more than ChatGPT. I just like the answers it gives me a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah.
I also recommend Gemini.
Gemini.
Google
Yes.
Gemini is good too. Though that I also like Gemini better than ChatGPT.
Do you have to sign up?
You do. It's free.
It's,
It's free. Yes. So, and you say you don't really use AI yet?
No, not yet, you know. I I'm youthful at heart, but some stuff I'm like becoming an old man. I'm just a little bit behind.
Yes. So let me ask you, when it comes to creating content for your business, will you be the one creating content?
I'm gonna say no because I don't. So I have no interest. That's not my lane.
Do you want to outsource it?
Probably, yeah,
Okay.
more than likely.
Okay, well, we can get in touch.
Yeah, I have no interest. Like, I'm okay.
Okay.
A little behind the curve on
Yeah.
certain things.
Okay, that's fine. So what would you rather be doing in your business? What are the things you would rather do instead of creating content?
I would rather be trying to get my finances in order with Usman. I would rather be trying to figure out how to start some more businesses like Janelle.
Yeah.
I would rather be trying to create residual incomes. I would rather be on the beach.
Yes.
There's so many things
I can help you with that.
Let's get
Trust
to
me.
it.
I got you right there.
I love that, yes.
Yeah, I could go on for days.
Yes.
We don't have enough time.
Marketing is painful for a lot of people. Most people just want to do what they are great at and do what they just love to do. But, you know, if they want to grow their business and they don't necessarily have the budget to invest in good content marketers, that's when we learn how to do it ourselves, like, right? But if you're able to outsource it, definitely recommend it. Like, outsource anything you don't want to do. But the process of at least learning what's important will help you outsource it better and help you pick the right.
That's why I'm here today.
Yes, okay.
You know, you're gonna hate me when you come talk to me about finances and I'm talking to you about content.
Probably not. No, I'm open.
It all ties in.
Yeah, I'm grumpy on the inside. On the outside, I'm like, just teach me. I'm just a little, you know, on the inside. I'm like,
Yes. I'm not with that. That's why we're here. Okay, so first create a new chat with whatever AI tool you open and talk to like ChatGPT or Claude and say, I am your name, I am Ashley, and this is what I do. So give them your elevator pitch, who you help, and what do you help them gain. And here's just an example that we're using from one of our clients, Melody.
What if I work for a nonprofit and I'm not the person who necessarily creates a lot of content, but I'm thinking more along the lines of what does my nonprofit provide and how would I frame that particular,
Yes.
these questions on a more organizational level rather than in like an individual level.
Yes.
Sorry, you can speak directly to what your company does or your nonprofit does.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. What's the name of the nonprofit?
It's called WISPA, W-I-S-P-A, it has to do with wireless providers.
Okay. You could say, and what's your role there?
I'm the executive administrator and board liaison, which means that I basically do whatever everybody else tells me to do.
Okay, so you can say, I am the executive director
yeah.
at WISPA. WISPA is a nonprofit that XYZ. So
Yeah, okay.
what's the elevator pitch for WISPA, and who are the
Right.
beneficiaries of what you do? And then also tell ChatGPT, what one major transformation are you responsible for sparking in your current role or business? So if you started, so what's your name again?
Mark.
Mark. So for this, and it depends on, some people are trying to create content within their role or within their company for like what they do. But if you're just looking for how the nonprofit can better create content, then talk about like what transformation WISPA is responsible for in that what are they responsible for? Like what is one major thing that they help people do to change their life or whatever? Who does it benefit? So here's an example for Melody. In my current role, I serve as the Director of Marketing and Strategic Partnerships. My most noteworthy accomplishment is maintaining effective and positive relationships with the team at Google, which resulted in securing $2 million in donations. So once you get that, we're doing an activity with AI right now.
Okay.
Do you use ChatGPT?
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time. I wish it was there earlier, cause I would
I
have
know.
used that all through college. but-
So,
It came late.
What do we all?
we're having everybody work with their favorite AI tool. Mine is called Claude.ai, but you can also pull up Gemini or
I'm using Gemini, I'm trying it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gemini is my favorite.
Sometimes I use
You said it's not that great?
No, Gemini is my favorite.
I use multiple. Sometimes I use Gemini and also Claude and see what they both give me and just like mix and match.
What's the differences between Claude and obviously ChatGPT,
Yeah.
which I'm familiar with?
I would say that, I don't know how they train them to learn or what their algorithms are, but, they, like, some of them are more, understanding of what you need
Gotcha.
and pull for more information, in my opinion. Like Gemini is better than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is really good for giving you a general outline. Gemini is good for giving you like more information, and then Claude is pretty much on the same level as Gemini.
Yeah, I would say Claude and Gemini are, I would agree that they're similar. And I think they're both better at studying your brand voice.
Mm-hmm.
And ChatGPT just spits out, like if you're wanting to like write an email or a caption, ChatGPT can be so corny and
Oh my gosh.
It really can be.
And I get my students every time, because I'm like, baby, you do not talk like this.
Exactly.
You do not write like this.
I know.
Why is therefore in your, in your language?
I hate seeing
Yeah.
Unleash now.
Yeah, oh my
Unleash
gosh.
the power of-
Unleash, and what's the other one? Oh my God, when I think of it, I'll let you know. I'm like, classic ChatGPT.
And then there's like, picture this. They go-
Ignite, that's what it is,
Ignite.
ignite.
It's like, I can't even use these words anymore. They were big. So now you're going to put this first prompt into your Gemini or Claude. Tell it to act as an expert marketer. How can I improve my positioning statement and better communicate my transformation or our transformation if you are with a company or nonprofit?
Can you tell this to type all that into our computers for us?
All right.
It will eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what are you thinking about the results so far?
It's cool. I like it.
Yes.
I tried Claude.
Mm-hmm. You like it?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Yeah.
It's better than ChatGPT.
Yeah.
There you go.
Way better.
And you can also give it this prompt next to, please help me make my positioning statement even more powerful and appealing. Does it make you sound even more fire, even more powerful? Like, you're like, oh, that's me.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, I
But
guess.
you're right, I think ChatGPT, they don't get me. They're like, girl, what you do?
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of like, they don't know how to.
And I also want to say you can have multiple versions of your positioning statement depending on where the context of where you're using it and when and in front of who. So for Janelle, for example, since you have a lot of things going on, I would use specific positioning statements based on whatever goal you have at that time. So like, let's just say, I know you are good with filling events. Let's just say it's a nonprofit event, for example, like you are helping nonprofit owners fill their donation gala seats or whatever.
Right.
You would say like, or you would use a positioning statement that speaks to that specific goal. But again, it's that clarity. So for everything that you do, get a clear positioning statement for that thing. Then you can have an overarching one for who you are as a person, but for your different business ventures, be specific at any given time.
And would that positioning statement go in the proposal that I'm giving that nonprofit?
Mhm.
That says, hire me and here's what I offer?
Yes, you
And
would,
that's where-
yeah,
okay.
you would incorporate this into anywhere in your messaging that is relevant to your audience. So that could be in your proposals, it could be on your website, your about page, where else? Captions,
Social media
emails,
bio.
exactly,
Yeah.
social media bio. And of course, you would tweak it, condense it where necessary. But again, it's just about sounding more powerful, making your offer and what you do and who you help more appealing. That it will help you stand out more, and it will help you rise to the level of what it's saying about you, right? Because it's like, oh, like, yes, I did that, so now I need to show people how this gets done, how I do this job, how I make this how we make this transformation, and you wanna speak to specifics. So you don't wanna sound generic and like everybody else. Anything else you want to add?
Well, what I will add is that you can, of course, tweak, whatever is being said, and then as you learn more about developing your brand voice and developing your brand values, you can also feed that to the AI, and it'll be able to tailor its response exactly how you would say it.
Yeah.
So not, in some other voice that you don't even identify with.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
The goal is to get great at conversing with AI so that it's not just spitting out anything and you're like, this doesn't really fit me. You wanna be able to converse with it and tweak it. So if there are words that you don't like I don't say unleash or ignite, tell it that. Like, please remove this.
Yeah.
It can update for you to learn your voice. So we're gonna talk about a little bit about these examples real quick. Crystal clear, unique positioning. So imagine that I am a diversity and inclusion consultant. If I just say I'm a DE&I consultant who helps organizations build inclusive cultures, snooze, yawn, everybody else does that. But if I say I help tech giants in Silicon Valley identify and dismantle systemic barriers to advancement for underrepresented talent, resulting in a 30% increase in leadership diversity within 18 months. Who do you think Google is gonna hire? Which one? They're gonna hire this one because, wow, that is super clear. I'm a tech giant, I'm based in Silicon Valley. I need to dismantle systemic barriers within our company, and I would love to increase my leadership diversity. Like, yes, I need to hire this person. There's a lot of corporate wellness consultants as well now, and I have a few clients who are corporate wellness consultants. It's not enough to just say you help companies improve their employee well-being. Like, yes, you wanna say that in your messaging, but when it comes to your power statement, it has to be more specific, or should be more specific. I work with fast-paced, high-pressure law firms to implement science-backed resilience programs that reduce associate burnout by 50% and improve retention of top talent by 25% within 1 year. So that is an example of how you can stand out with your messaging, have a more clear and powerful positioning statement, and speak more specifically to your ideal client. So now, when you are, for example, if I'm a wellness consultant and I'm on a podcast for lawyers, I'm gonna say this, and they're gonna be like, oh wow, like that person means business. I'm listening to what they have to say. They're using science-backed resilience programs. Like, that's awesome. And this is somebody who can secure multiple six-figure contracts with big law firms. And this is a person who, you would be lucky to get $10,000. Whereas this person, you're really getting the bag. And of course, you have to have the expertise to be able to back that up too. So use real numbers.
And also, if you're struggling figuring out how you add value or how to explain the value that you add, you can also use AI to help you put together the same messaging. So you can ask AI to help you in your research, identify, what it is exactly that you do, how that helps these industries. Mm-hmm. And it'll give you some information and, do some extra research just to make sure that it's, correct.
Accurate.
But that will help you form these statements as well.
And also, to piggyback on that, sometimes it's really good to circle back to your clients that you may have been working with in the past, and if you're not currently working with them anymore, but they're still using however you help them. Ask them, like, what kind of results did you see? What is your business like now? What's your life like now? Are you still using any of these same skills or tools or whatever that you help provide them with? and incorporate those results into your messaging as well. Like, this business saw a 25% increase in their online sales, for example. So circle back to your past clients and ask them what their results have been. Okay, so now I want you to turn to your neighbor and practice speaking your unique positioning statement with confidence, with clarity. Also, you can use what the AI gave you. But yeah, practice like believing it and saying it and eventually recording content with it. But for now, just like practice.
So, give me a short one.
You said what?
I am part of business owners. Translating the financial data. And rolling out business growth.
Remember, numbers will thrive in the evolving wildest landscape. And each more stuff, it'll be like, you know, we have like 2 really good shows, which are probably ads that generate revenue. So we have South America, give us 90% of our proof leads, which is terrible. So yeah, that's something that definitely can be incorporated, those 2 things, but
Yeah, the jump.
What you got? What you
Yeah, I mean, I totally get why it's not really to run the translation process. It is really so much
So, yeah, she's not a number one. She's not, she's a people that healing person, not,
If you
yeah, I mean, she just doesn't have for she just doesn't have that clients is like all the time, and then she has to summarize that, all those sections. And because you have to have those notes for both personal records and
Exactly.
maybe not medical records, you know, that kind of stuff. Plus, then she's got, you know, do billing for insurance.
So yeah.
She's got processes for that.
But like, I never thought about.
Yeah, I mean, there's some which, and that just all she's getting a lot of members. Yeah, exactly, yeah, right.
So, no, I get it. It's how it is.
There's we're gonna have to get together, and I come from like a church background, so I know what you want to help out. So, yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah, like all of what you're talking about is kind of like transition to like, cool, this is what I was. Okay. So, you know, and this is just me, like I've done some recently, again, government affairs, membership, that's what that's but now, I'm wondering how much importance this have, like, you talk about culture, it's like, you know, it talks about personal wealth information, like, that we're really very care about how good it's going, like, I'm wondering if there's a way to put more emotion behind that.
Oh, so that's where I
structure.
Yeah, like,
It's just,
I mean, in terms of like, you know, your, I mean, what you said earlier, you know, and this is, but I'm here, this, I think, so how do you?
Yeah.
How do you-
Yeah. We'll work it together. Exchange content.
Personal goals.
Yeah, 'cause this is
Yeah.
Money.
So it's like,
Yeah.
Right? Looking forward to
My whole thing is these.
Okay, we're gonna move on in 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
So kind of how do you deal with that?
That's what we're
The clearer the better, right?
Be grateful, call it feeling that, and understand your it's a soft problem.
That's if I'm sure I was born in DC.
What makes it so
Sure,
sure.
I
I feel bad.
Right.
And I'm like,
How about you?
Okay, we are gonna move forward now. We're gonna move forward. Make sure y'all exchange info so y'all can keep these conversations going.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, it sounds like y'all are making some good progress. Y'all are practicing talking about what you do in a more powerful way. And also, you're getting better at training your AI. So I was just telling my friend Salim over there, the more data you feed the AI, the better the results are gonna be. So if you like have a case study for one of your clients, this is what we did, this is what we did it for, this is the results that they generated, you can just like copy and paste that and give it to AI, and AI can use that data to help continue to improve your positioning statements.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into talking about creating that connection building content. So that's what we're here for. So now that you guys have more clarity on what it is that you are conveying when you meet people and meet your ideal client, we want to talk about creating this content. And so we know we need to create good content, but what is good content? Good content is compelling. It connects with your ideal client in the most intimate way, professionally. So just going back to some of the points that Krista made earlier, understanding your client in their needs, their core issues, along with their dreams and aspirations, just really understanding what gets their gears moving. And you can do that really by starting with what problem you are solving with your service or with your product. And so once you identify that, you'll be able to start figuring out who exactly has this problem, and then build these client profiles and become as specific as possible. So it could even be down to where do they shop to get groceries? What kind of things do they do on the weekend for fun? And as you understand that, you'll be able to add more details into your content that connects with them on a deeper level. So let's say, for example, your client is is a woman in their mid-30s, not really a party girl. She likes to travel and enjoy champagne over, alcohol. Hard liquor.
Mm-hmm.
You would have like elements of travel and elements of, just the relaxation life, a luxury life, and that is gonna appeal to her specifically. So you can take that and build out those client profiles and get ridiculously specific. And you can use a lot of different tools to like really understand your audience a little bit better. And the more that you understand them, creating content is just gonna be easier and easier and easier. And it'll just get to the point where you're not posting every day yourself. You can literally have it planned, scheduled, and ready to go. and which is what we do for our clients. We plan whole 90-day calendars out, and it just posts for them.
Yeah, when you do that, you'll never run out of ideas of what to say, what to talk about, what to post about, because there's just you have a goal line to tap into. There's always gonna be something to share with your people.
Yeah, and then also, when you get vulnerable and share your own experiences and relate to your client in that way, it gets them to where they understand exactly what it is that the value is that you're bringing to them. So that is really important. Sharing your own experiences and why you develop the service or the product that you have is really crucial to connecting with your ideal client. So
Yeah, tell stories, tell your own stories, but also tell the stories of the people who you work with and how they transformed. Obviously, you don't want to share like personal, intimate details, but you can definitely share like that transformation story and how was that person feeling before they started working with you? What was their situation? What were their emotions involved? Were there any frustrations, fears, like what were they worried about? And how did you help them ease those worries? If you can tie in your own stories, then you will stand out online. The problem right now with standing out online, there's so much content and there's so much AI content now. We teach AI, however, it's still important to infuse your own brand and your own stories and your own personality. AI is here to make the process quicker, but it's not here to completely replace your content.
okay, so we have another activity for you guys to help you build that concept that connects. So we'll start with the ideal client profiles. If you can just go back to ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, and type in, please provide 3 ideal client profiles for my company. Include their name, role, demographics, psychographics, needs, desires, goals, fears, frustrations, the specific questions they have, and ask specifically that they put it in a table format. That's just really helpful with just tracking the data.
And does anybody already have a spreadsheet with this information about their clients?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You do, yeah. I know, you on it, you got it.
Absolutely.
Once you have this, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a game changer for anything marketing related.
Did you say to put it in table format?
Yeah, and that just helps for them to like put it in a spreadsheet. Well, you can export it to a spreadsheet. I highly recommend keeping a spreadsheet that you continue to update the more you work with people. You wanna put in as much relevant data about your customer as possible. And you want to, you can also use the AI to help you come up with these, but you also wanna be inserting your real life examples too. So it's gonna give you a little something. So this is after I already exported it to a spreadsheet. So this is gold, I'm telling you. Like, you get some demographics about where they live, what's their gender, income level, how do they think, what's important to them.
And sorry. And so like here for like the psychographics, right? This will help you with your brand voice. If you know that the people that you are trying to connect with are innovative thinkers and risk takers, driven and ambitious, strategic mindset, like those are things that you can tailor your brand voice to specifically connect with those people. So you wanna be upbeat, you wanna be really positive and affirming with connecting with these specific kinds of people. And then also just paying attention to their desires. That's one of the biggest ways to connect with a client is through their desires and through their fears.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you feel about asking AI for that information?
I feel that AI is not perfect, it's imperfect, right? So I'm always gonna feel like real life data is gonna be always better than what AI gives you. However, this is pretty dang good. It's pretty accurate in terms of this example. So we're still using Melody, the cybersecurity partnerships consultant. Those are literally people who she would be working with, and based on what she told me, this is pretty accurate in terms of like their overall, everything. As she speaks to more people in her audience, she could go in here and add more like real life examples. But I do think what Claude gave me here, this is pretty on. And then just one more slide. Goals, fears, frustrations, questions. I always like to think of myself as a detective or Inspector Gadget when I'm thinking about collecting market research. Like, I'm super curious. You really need to put on that thinking hat, get out your magnifying glass. You wanna know as much as you can about your ideal client. You wanna really like get in their head and kind of understand their thinking process and understand what motivates them, like we were saying earlier, and take note of the questions that they're asking, take note of their specific quotes, like what are they saying? So I have a little trick for this. On our discovery calls and our sales calls, we record them. We record our calls and we use a transcription service called Tactic. It's a free tool.
Game changer.
Game changer. It's called Tactic, TACTIQ, I believe. And it's free. You can record up to like 10 free meetings a month. But it allows you to capture exactly what your client is saying. And then they also have an AI tool built in. So you can ask it after your meetings, like, what did Janice say about her frustrations? Or what were Janice's pain points? And it will give you her pain points in her exact words. And then you can take that and throw it into your spreadsheet. Put her direct quotes in there. And then it'll allow you to build your content strategy based on what she specifically said her pain points were.
Game changer.
Yes, oh my
Game
gosh.
changer, when I
Yes.
tell you.
It is, I love it so much.
Yeah, I do.
I love Tactic, like honestly, Tactic needs to pay me because I keep putting people on. Like, we need a affiliate code for Tactic.
Yeah.
But I love it. If you are a business owner, if you do any type of sales of any kind, definitely recommend Tactic. Definitely recommend recording those phone calls, transcribing those phone calls, or those Zoom meetings, I should say. They're Zoom meetings. And you can just like have that AI pool.
And it's also really good for summarizing the meeting that you had and sending off that email to just recap and building that relationship further. So
Yeah.
just a little note.
Yeah.
Quick question before y'all move on. So, like, I have a question that my clients fill out before we get on our discovery call.
Mhm.
Is there a way, to like put that information, I'm sure there is a way, but to like put it into AI and have it assess, like what the client needs are and how to best
Yeah.
like drive the call?
Okay, absolutely. Yeah.
What if you even put it in
Table
Tactic?
for it, would it do it in table format, or?
You can, I think you could probably put it in maybe Gemini or Claude, and then ask it to, summarize what you need, and then give it that.
I think Gemini would be cool because you can export it directly to Google Sheet.
Yeah, just actually.
I just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause it's got in the like the bottom corner, it says export to sheet, so
Okay.
it'll just,
Yeah.
so everything's like all integrated.
Yeah. Into like.
Okay, Google.
Yes.
Gemini's my
Listen.
favorite.
I've been very anti-AI, y'all are changing my mind.
I know.
As a journalist.
As a journalist,
Yeah,
right?
but that training, they're like, no.
I
No.
mean, the thing is, you don't want to use it for everything, but how can you use it to speed up your process in
Yeah.
certain ways?
Right. It's because my students are using it, so it's like, we have a paper due, and I'm like,
It's the cheat code there.
unlocked, unleashed,
I know.
ignited. I'm like, y'all gotta change up the adjectives,
Right.
verbs.
But yes, to answer your question, you can copy and paste that information from that form, paste it into Claude or Gemini, ask it your question, like how would you recommend I set up their strategy session or whatever you want to ask it. But yes,
That's
listen,
good.
it can change so much, not just about your content, but the way you do business. It can thought partner. I use it as my thought partner. Okay, so we're not gonna take too much time because we don't really have a whole lot of time. We have a few slides to get through, but you can take a screenshot of this prompt if you wanna take a picture, because this is a prompt that you would put in after you generate your ideal client profiles. So this is all about building connection, developing connection, building content. So if you have all these goals, right, let's just say you wanna inform, educate, and you can take out anything that doesn't resonate, like if you don't care about educating your audience, you just wanna convert them or whatever, take that out. But if
Come on, educate y'all.
right, but whatever your goals are, like if you wanna entertain them or make them laugh or whatever, throw that into your prompt. Please give me specific content topics for the next 30 days that will resonate with my ideal clients. So y'all got your pictures, right? So here's some more examples using Melody, our cybersecurity consultant. So boom, it gave 30 ideas that she can take and run with and build blog posts, videos, social media, emails, you name it. This can be any type of content form, but you can take this and you don't have to use the exact same title, but this can give you the ideas. You know, this could be your 30 or 60-day content strategy plan right here. And these are going to resonate with her audience, right? Because they care about building partnerships in their cybersecurity business. So this is just another quick one that you don't have to do right now, but for example, you can choose one of those topics and ask your AI to script a 3-minute video, for example. So if you're gonna be recording videos or podcasts, it can help you script or outline your content. Just choose one of the topics and ask it what you want.
And I'd also like to add that if you don't wanna be on camera, you can still use this to create a script and have like a voice, or you can have a voiceover, or AI could do the voiceover, and you can just put together like a video, kind of like a slideshow to make it interactive.
Another key point here, again, you want to infuse your own brand voice too. So once it gives you your script and everything, make sure you know, sauce it up. You know, don't just give it exactly what it gives you, but take a little bit of time. And put yourself on a timer, because another thing is some people spend like 4 hours on one piece of content, and that just might not be the smartest thing for where you are in your business right now. You wanna get it down to maybe like 30 minutes, like your content, like after you've already planned it out, maybe no more than 30 minutes for, you know, an article or a video. And that's, you know, with editing, that's everything. So with AI, you can really cut down how long it takes to record or create your content, do your whole process. See, I mean, it gives you a whole script here, and if you say a 3-minute video, then it'll tell you how long, and then you can pop that script in after you did your edits. You can pop that script into a teleprompter tool. Like there's a free app, I think it's free, the teleprompter app, and you can load it on your phone, and it will give you your script. So you might be recording in front of your tripod, your $30 tripod from Amazon. Like it doesn't have to be expensive to produce quality content, as long as you are driving value for your audience. This is something that you can do for the low, you know, before you have the resources to outsource to a whole team maybe. You can be doing this, you can be recording videos. I'm eventually going to get into video. I don't really have video for my business yet, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna download the teleprompter app, I'm gonna set up that tripod and use AI to help me, but also infuse my own voice and edit the content just to make sure it's actually my real expertise, and not just AI expertise. But this is gonna give you a great start.
Yes. So just some tips and tricks. Like we all know, AI is not perfect. It'll sound very generic sometimes. So once again, just make sure that you're adding your brand's unique personality and voice, and style and values. And, always ask yourself, does this sound like me? When I actually meet the person that is watching this video, are they going to recognize me? Not just by my looks, but how I sound. And feel free to just plug in what you would actually say. Be as authentic as possible. And the more authentic you are, the more people will connect with what you're saying and be entertained or inspired by those things. So add in some humor, some storytelling elements, and just make sure that before you actually create the content that you're also reading it out loud. When you first start, get a friend, get a family member, ask them, does this sound like me? So just to double check and then always make sure that you have somebody to review your content, edit it, and again, we're just gonna drive this point home. AI is here to help you, not do the work for you, so.
Yes. And also to this point of adding your own personal flair into it, little tip for this is you can keep what I like to call a story bank. And that can just be a note on your phone or a Google Doc where as you're thinking of stories and experiences, just brainstorm them onto that note or that doc. It can be something you saw on TV that reminded you of throwing a pool event, for example. Or it could be that time that I helped my client convert 20 new people through one email, for example. Just as you're going throughout your day, stories will pop up in your mind or experiences will happen to you in real life that you can infuse into your business or your storytelling. So just jot those down into your story bank, and you can pull from those when you're going to create content and infuse those real life situations into your content. Because again, that's gonna help make yours stand out. It's not just something that anybody can generate on AI. Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts, both of you could chime in, what are your thoughts on the social media platform you use? So I feel like I get a lot of engagement on Facebook, but I keep hearing that's a dying social media platform. But that's where I get the most engagement, especially for some of my travel experiences, or maybe it's the people that follow me, I don't know. But so where all of this, where should we put it? Should we use all the platforms or just select a few? And LinkedIn too, that's the other one that's surprisingly,
It is, yeah.
I don't know what, it's just turning into something different.
favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like professional Facebook or whatever, so,
What
but.
would you say?
I would say to continue using Facebook, regardless of what
it's not
people say.
dying?
No, it's not going anywhere anytime soon, honestly.
Yeah, no, I would say to continue using that. If you're getting a lot of traction, keep doing that. Whatever is working, continue to do that. Don't stop thinking that you have to go and do what somebody else is doing because,
Yeah.
But also when you think about your ideal client, think about where they spend their time. So
They're on Facebook.
yeah,
There you
it's
go.
Facebook. Yeah. And if you do want to, try it out on other platforms, I would say set some realistic goals and a time frame. So let's say you want to start posting content on LinkedIn. Set some realistic goals and connecting with 20 different new people or new ideal clients is one of your goals. And then kind of measure your success and based on where you are by the time period that you've set, you can figure out whether or not it's worth to continue going on through that channel.
I agree, and I'll just add in, if you want to connect with more corporate people, definitely LinkedIn. But if you have more a B2C type of service or offering, Facebook, Facebook is fine. But yeah, once you're connecting with those, once you're trying to get that consulting or brand partnerships, things like that, typically you can keep LinkedIn.
Okay.
Circulation. The word circulation just reminds me of hula hoops, but I'm not talking about hula hooping. Talking about your content distribution. So creating great content is only half of the battle. It also has to be in front of the right people at the right time in the right places.
So it's actually actually goes right to
Yes.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So like especially when we are a tiny business and we don't really have a huge audience yet, how can we make sure that what we have to say gets in front of more people? Think about, can you partner up and collab with anybody? Are there influencers who are relevant to what you do in your space? Are there thought leaders that can help amplify? For example, there might be somebody that has a newsletter for developers in DC that has 50,000 developers and real estate agents on it. Maybe you can be featured in their newsletter with your service or your offer, what you do. So now you're getting in front of 50,000 people, you're borrowing somebody else's audience, because they're already a thought leader in your space. So think about who you can partner with, or this is a strategy that we call OPA, which is other people's audience. Yes, leverage other people's audiences, and that means getting on podcasts, getting in front of a community. Maybe if you are a coach, you can do a guest coaching session in front of somebody's coaching platform. Or let's just say you do SEO and you know somebody who has a big audience that they do website design, but they don't do SEO. You can partner up with that person. You can get in front of their, in front of their audience. And repurpose. So you don't always have to create a new piece of content. Sometimes you can just take your old content and find a new way to distribute it. So if you made a 10-minute YouTube video, you can clip that out into 2-minute videos. Or you can change it into LinkedIn posts, blog articles. You can get the transcript and make an article out of it. If you have a podcast episode, that can be turned into a series of social media posts, whether it's audio clips or whether it's captions. There's always ways to repurpose. If you have an infographic, you can break that down into a slide deck and share it in so many different ways. So just again, repurpose. Also, your virtual assistants can help you do this. It doesn't have to be you. This is a lot of administrative work. So that's when you want to think about hiring an intern, hiring a social media virtual assistant. And again, you can utilize Fiverr or like onlinejobs.ph, which is for Filipino virtual assistants. Again, you can get virtual assistants for like $5, $6, $7 an hour to help you with some of the administrative parts, like maybe finding influencers, reaching out to thought leaders, repurposing your content, breaking down a podcast episode, for example. So as you go out throughout this process, think about the parts that you don't need to do. There's a lot that you don't necessarily need to do. I just need your expertise. I just need your experiences. I just need your stories. And I just need you to show up in front of the camera. Everything else can be outsourced.
And just to make a point to the repurposing, make sure when you do repurpose that you're keeping your audience in mind. So what you would say on Facebook is not always what you would say on LinkedIn, and and that goes with any of the platforms. So just make sure that you're keeping your audience in mind as you're repurposing and making any tweaks that are necessary.
Yes, I use a lot more slang on Instagram than I do on LinkedIn.
Right.
Okay, so again, you can screenshot this prompt. We won't take the time to do it right now, but please give me 10 platforms, websites, publications, podcasts, or communities that my ideal clients subscribe to that I should aim to get featured on. And if you know any off the top, of course, add that. Keep a spreadsheet. And here's just an example. Again, with Melody, they gave all of these cybersecurity platforms, and these are communities that she might not have even thought about. So I went on one of them, darkreading.com, and they had like a section for like women-owned cybersecurity companies. So she could get featured on that. She's a woman, right? There's so many people visiting these sites in her industry. So if you can go to these places and add unique insights to the dialogues that they're having, that's people in your industry who potentially could discover you through those platforms. And then they'll then follow you, see your content, subscribe to your newsletter, and it's a way for you to get in front of them. Okay, so the next part is having more conversations, and we're almost at the end. But again, it's like we need to be having more conversations to close more deals, more often than not. So the whole point of this content creation process is to engage your audience, get them to respond to your content, get them to take the action that you're suggesting them to take. That could just be liking your post. Maybe they could leave a comment. Maybe they are subscribing to your email list. When you see actions like that happen, especially if they're engaging over time, reach out to them. Ask them if they would be interested in getting on a call. And also send more cold outreach too. Once you send that cold outreach email or DM, depending on your platform, that person might not know who you are. You might get ignored, yes, or they might come and see your page. So if you're sending a connection request on LinkedIn, they're like, who's this person? They're gonna go to your page, they're gonna see what you're talking about. And if you're sharing that content that resonates with them, they will accept your request. So now this stranger is somewhat in your circle or in your network, and when you reach out to them, they will see like this person probably has something valuable to say. So your content serves as a validator, but you have to be the one, or somebody in your business or a sales rep that you hire has to be the one to drive those conversations sometimes, because not everybody is just going to see your content and run to get on the phone with you. So reach out to them and engage in a conversation, book calls, hold authentic conversations, and nurture relationships. So it's not about always just like trying to sell somebody right away, but just have those conversations to figure out what are their needs, goals, desires, like figure out how you can help them. Maybe you've already recorded a video that answers some of those questions. So you can send that over to them like, hey, I created this resource, like I'm just gonna share this with you. And that again is nurturing our relationship without always, being salesy or, stuff like that. So definitely want to have more conversations and let your content help you spark those conversations.
And to make your life easier, everybody's very busy. So it's already taking out time from your day to reach out to these people to say, hey, would you like to set up some time? Make sure you have a calendar that's already set up. You can send them your calendar link. That just makes things so much easier than going back and forth trying to figure out what time works better. So just a little feather in your cap.
Calls to action are important, so you wanna be making sure that you're inviting your reader to actually take an action. So that can be leave a comment if you think XYZ, or let me know if you agree, or don't forget to sign up for my email newsletter because I'm sharing XYZ. So always remind your people what next steps that they should take. That's why whenever you watch a YouTube video, people are always like, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's a call to action, and guess what? Their audience does it. People who include calls to action in their content have a higher likelihood of getting that audience to take that action. And then the next step that you can take to spark a conversation is to create a freebie or a lead magnet that requires them to sign up in order to receive. So I'm sure that most of us in here probably downloaded something for free and joined somebody's email list. So if you have something like that and you see people signing up, you can then reach out to them, one-on-one. Say, hey, I saw that you just got my free cheat sheet. Can I ask like what you might be struggling with or what your goals are around this? And just reach out, like just continue to have conversations with the people that you can help, because conversions truly happen through conversations. And before you have like a really huge audience and you can just like tweet about something and people are signing up, you have to do more of the outreach, or again, hire somebody to do more of that direct outreach. So you can take a quick photo of that too. These are some action steps for getting more conversations with your ideal buyer. So maybe you have a piece of content that got some engagement, got some comments, got some shares, got some likes. Choose some of the people who engage to actually send a direct message with. Maybe you've never talked to them before, but they've been liking your posts, or you know that they would be a potential client. So just reach out to them and see if they're open to a conversation. And here is a quick example of a message that you can send them. Again, you can tweak this to fit your voice, but it's just like, hey, I noticed that you left a comment on my LinkedIn post. I'm curious, how have you been addressing this challenge? If you're open to it, I'd love to set up a quick call. Let me know if you're interested. Let me know if you're open to discussing XYZ. And the last crucial element of the 5 key pillars to your sales funnel is getting to that closed deal, because I want all of us to get more money and to make a bigger impact and to live the lives that we are destined to live. Let's get into some money.
So like Rihanna.
Yes, exactly. So it's really this whole process of creating content fits into your bigger picture of what is your sales funnel. And by sales funnel, I'm really just talking about what are the steps that it takes for somebody to go from stranger to client. What do those steps usually look like? Oftentimes, like we mentioned, it is referral. So even if it's a referral, what does that process usually look like? You wanna make sure you're writing that down and kind of like mapping it out. So you can use like a chart, or what are those things called? Like a like a diagram to help you visualize that process. But the more you understand what those steps are, the better you can actually design an intentional customer journey. And that means that you can guide more people through that process. Your content plays a role at each stage. So you might have content that appeals to people who don't know you, and you might have content that appeals to people who are already considering investing in your services. So there's different types of content that plays a role at different levels of your customer journey. So you want to just think about what is your sales process and how can I create content that adds to that sales process and that helps move my customers along the journey.
For the testimonials, what would you recommend? How could we take testimonials outside of just posting them, and turning that into like a strategy for next time, especially the one that are like constructive criticism? Could you take that testimonial and tell AI, hey, can you develop a plan so that this doesn't happen again?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, that's a good idea. For that. And you can ask it like, how can I even better serve this client
Right.
next time? You can also use your testimonial to create like a case study too. So case studies are really big in that decision-making stage. So when people are thinking about, should I spend this $5,000 on your service? Well, let me see what they did for the other client, and they'll read that story. You can develop that case study based on who that person was, what was their challenge, what did you do, and what was the result. So that is an example of content that builds trust and positions your services as the solution to their challenges. Because they can see how you did that with somebody else who was in a situation like them. So yeah, get those conversations, get them on the phone, and just be authentically yourself. Share how you can provide value. There's a lot more that goes into being an expert salesperson. But if you really have conviction for what you're doing and the value that it can bring, and you know that this is a person that can benefit from what you provide, that closed deal happens so much easier, so much more easily. And again, the content is meant to help you get to this point where you're closing deals. The content is meant to bring in and attract more people, but again, it has to be clear, it has to be in front of the right people at the right time, it has to be compelling enough for them to want to trust you to hand over a lot of their money, because you're expensive, right? Like, y'all not cheap. You have a high level of expertise. So you definitely need to make sure that you are reflecting that high level of expertise through your content, getting people to hop on the call, and again, just sharing that value with them, making the invitation to work with you. And that's it, you know? Simple, right? So any more questions for us about this whole process?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
So the leads that don't convert, and just kind of, what are your thoughts around nurture campaigns and just kind of keeping people in the loop
Yeah.
without overdoing it as well?
I think just communicating with them about, you know, what you have going on that's new, just keeping them informed without, like, you know, being pushy. I think those leads tend to appreciate that, because you don't just forget about them because they didn't give you money.
Right.
So yeah, it still makes them feel included, and eventually it probably will lead them to converting.
And you can automate it, so let's just say you have an email sequence or a nurture. Let's just say you have a lead nurture sequence with an email that automatically gets sent out every week or every 2 weeks. The cadence doesn't really matter, it just matters, is it valuable, is it relevant, will it help them? You can automate certain things, but also certain things can just be personal. Like, let's just say you wanna follow up with somebody in 3 months, like, hey, how's it going with your XYZ? You know, like, ask them something personal about what they told you when you did talk. Yeah, just how's it going? I would love to hear an update. And a lot of times they'll be happy to share, and they might even give you an update on, like, oh yeah, I would love to work with you. I think I'll be ready next year, you know, or whatever. But yeah, keep them in the loop, update them, and continue to share any value. Like, if you're creating content that's valuable, you can share it with them. Yeah.
I'm curious from your guys behind the scenes, like what sort of topics, what sort of channels have you seen convert really well?
For our audience specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say, as far as platforms, Instagram's good for just getting the buzz going. Depending on what you do specifically, it's always gonna depend on what you do. LinkedIn is our favorite. It's just easier to have conversations with people on LinkedIn. I don't know, they're just so willing to have conversations. And then I would also say those email campaigns is probably another
Emails are
really good one.
definitely
They're very
high
strong.
priority. And then to answer your question about the topics, so right now I'm talking more about how consultants and speakers can connect with more corporate decision makers. So the content that I'm creating about, like, the process to do that is a popular topic, and also like some of those pain points. And I challenge certain beliefs. So that's always gonna be a big one. So for me, I wrote something that was like, I'm a content marketer, however, I have an unpopular opinion, maybe you should be creating less content. And that kind of got some eyes, because people were like, create less content. I keep hearing I need to create more content. But I went into the reasons why maybe creating less content is what you need to do right now. So if you can, like, share an unpopular belief, that's always going to catch people's eyes, like, what's this thought process about?
Yeah, it will showcase your expertise for a second.
Yeah, it'll show that you have, like, you form your own opinion on things, and you're not just, like, going with what they say to do, you know? Cause, like, in my world, like I said, they are always talking about, you need to be on Instagram, you need to be posting 7 times a day, you need to be on stories and create a video, all this. And I'm just like, no, you don't need to do all that, actually. Like, sometimes creating less content is the answer. Maybe you should be focusing on more outreach. Maybe you could be focusing on more in-person events. You know, maybe more content isn't the answer for you right now. So, yeah, if you can like take a stand against the popular opinion, that's when you're good.
Is there like a rule of thumb when it comes to like how much you should post, or is everybody like different?
Different platforms do have algorithm driven things. So yeah, if you want to like follow the algorithms,
Yeah. Like
you should.
Instagram will forget about you if you forget about it. So you do need to be active on Instagram. I do agree with Kristen, you don't need to flood your timeline all the time, and that actually does look bad for the algorithm as well. So it's really finding the balance of understanding the platform that you're on. But yeah.
And I always like to say, you have to figure out a flow that works for you. Especially if you don't really have a team or a content creation partner, then you just really gotta figure out what works for me realistically. And do it in a 90-day sprint, I would say, at a time. Like, what can I commit to for the next 90 days? Can I show up on LinkedIn 3 times a week for the next 90 days? Just do what's realistic for you for now, and try to keep yourself accountable. You know, have an accountability partner or something. But yeah, figure out what is realistic and just stay on that schedule. And then you can always increase as you have more resources. Yes, okay, so I want to quickly recap. We talked about clarity, connection building content, circulation, conversation, closed deals, all of that great stuff. Thank you so much. Also, if you scan this, you have the opportunity to get a free content marketing review by my team. We also have one more partner named Shayla. She's based in Atlanta. We would love to take a look at your content, and if you have any specific questions, or even if you don't really have a lot of content yet and you want some specific advice on like what would work well for my business, this will allow you to get a free mini review. You can book a call, share your website, or share your social media, and we'll take a look and we'll give you some specific tips. This is usually something I sell. Well, the full review process, I usually sell it for $500. But y'all can get a version for free for being here. So thank you so much.
Yes. I love how QR codes are like, I just remember a time where QR codes like, what's this? And COVID happened, and now it's just like everywhere. I love the QR code journey.
Yes, it's so great.
It ignites a lot of passion.
It ignites, yes. Unlocks.
It unlocks it. It really resonates.
Also, our emails are here. If you want to get in touch, feel free to reach out. I'm really happy to connect with all of you further. And I'm on LinkedIn and IG. I didn't get a chance to add my links, but I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn too. My name is Kristen Noel, or it's Kristen Wiggins. I think I might have my full name on LinkedIn. Kristen Noel Wiggins. And on IG, you can look for Kanan Digital Marketing.
Thank you all for your time today.
Thank you.
Great questions.
Yes, we do. If y'all need help with that, let us know.
This is excellent, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Oh yeah, get some food too.